What if I told you that getting into running isn't actually as hard as you think it would be? When I talk to people about running and why they don't run, they tend to say that, oh, it's the worst form of cardio, it's so tough on me, I can't handle it. And I kind of agree with that because it is a very tough form of cardio if you go all out. But I also disagree because it is a nice form of cardio, and I'll tell you why. Running is really tough to get into, especially if you haven't done it before. But I think I might have some ideas on how you actually can get into running and what actually helped me as a runner and as a beginner. Because I'm still a beginner at this, which is why I think this is a great starting point for me to actually talk to people about how to get into running, because I've just experienced it myself. So I really want to share my knowledge about this because I've recently experienced the beginning of running as well. So the reason why I'm making this video is because I personally find it very hard to actually listen to professional people about how to get into running or how to get into lifting, because they're so far ahead of me and their expertise is just overwhelming. And honestly, I get it. Running is not an easy task and it's definitely not easy to get into, but you can have easier ways to get into it, which is what I will talk about. Sometimes the biggest challenge is just getting in your running clothes and then stepping out the door, taking the first step is usually and sometimes the hardest for beginners. It was for me at least. But I think what you need to do as a beginner is to accept the stage that you are at. You're at a beginner stage. So the fact that you just got out the door is progress. So don't look down on yourself for just being able to run for 5 minutes or 10 minutes because this is what you're supposed to do at the start. And I think you need to accept this and have this mindset about running, that accept the place you're at. And I think you'll get further if you accept that. So the main point about mindset is that you should accept the stage you're at. Before I get to on how running is enjoyable, I just want to touch on injuries quick, because injuries is something I suffered from and I'm still suffering from because I did a lot of mistakes the first few weeks of running. Mistakes happen and they're fine, but when it comes to running and just doing any sport related activities, I think you need to be careful of what you do so you don't destroy your joints or your muscles. Because when it comes to running, when you run, your legs have to absorb a lot of power for every step. So your joints and muscle will take a lot of damage and they need to get used to running before you actually can go all out on running. It's really tough on the body in the start. So I would suggest that you only go for 10 minutes and then you do it in intervals. You walk for 1 minute, you run for 1 minute, you walk for 1 minute and run for 1 minute. And then you can just gradually increase the time you're out. But don't ever overdo running the first few weeks because your muscles and joints are not ready for that. And I promise you, if you do that, you'll have a easier way to get into running. So how do you enjoy running? Well, for me, when I first started out, I went all out. On the first run, I was like, okay, I gotta go as fast as I can because I've seen all these influencers posting their Strava activities and oh my God, it's crazy. I gotta go as fast as I can. And on the run, I really didn't enjoy it at all. It was horrible. I was out of breath. My legs hurt. I got home. It was even worse. And in general, just a really bad experience. And after I got home, I thought to myself, oh my God, I will never, ever go for a run again. And I kind of felt the pressure from these influencers and friends that were running faster than me because I wasn't as in good condition as they were. But everyone has a starting place and they need to build their endurance and muscles up. I learned that running at a pace that is comfortable and easy, where you can talk while you run, is the way to go in the start as a beginner. Grab an audiobook, a podcast, and just go for a run. Or even just go for a run without any audio in your ears and just let it be maybe a mindful experience for you. Some people have some really good experiences just listening to nature and just absorbing all the energy from the nature when running. And yeah, I usually just do audiobooks because that's me, but if you just want to go out and have a mindful run, you can do that as well. And one of the most important factors is that in the start, you just have to run and figure out what is good for you and how do you actually enjoy running. And because everyone is different and you can't just follow one scheme and schedule and think that is what you have to do. You got to figure things out for yourself. But the thing you have to do in the start is you have to take it slow and then figure things out along the way. But please just take it slow in the start. So it's really about just having the right mindset about running and accept the stage that you're at in your life as a runner, because this is the start of your running career. And when it comes to injuries, it is really important that you just try and not go for really tough runs and really fast runs, because you're going to destroy your legs and your muscles. And the way you enjoy running is that you have to run at an easy, comfortable pace where you can talk and breathe properly and just really try and enjoy the run. Maybe in the start, just get a pair of running shoes, because it's really going to help you in the long run. But don't overthink that either.